Good afternoon, good morning to everyone who's on the other side of the country, on the other side of the world, I should say. Welcome, everyone. This is the nichebot live show, and this is the place where you can get the intervention you need to blow right past those obstacles that stand in your way. I want to welcome you to the show. I'm your host and founder of nichebot X since 2004. In fact, we're coming up on our 8th anniversary here very shortly. And let me tell you real quickly, share with you, if you're brand new to the show, why I created this show for gold and platinum users. And it's real simple. A lot of people just blow right past the quick start guide that is really the foundation of everything. Kind of gives you the overall picture and the target of what you're really here to do at nichebot when you're doing your keyword research. Furthermore, the content here is customized towards you every week. So it's not just a hodgepodge of stuff that's just thrown at you. We're here to make sure to get to the heart of where you're at and where you're stuck right now. This show is also about getting clarity and having breakthroughs, and that's really important because breakthroughs don't happen just really after one time, 2 times, 3 times of trying something. It usually takes repeated exposure to something, techniques that really work for them to actually, for you to actually have, make a distinction and have a breakthrough. I'm here to help you and assist you in having those breakthroughs. Now, there will be a live replay of this show from the live show directory at nichebot.com/live show. And in fact, that actually should be, I obviously have an old slide, and it should be nichebot.com/blog/live show, but you can live-show, but you can access that inside your nichebot account. Obviously, I just had to reboot and restore this computer that I'm recording on right now, so I obviously have picked an old slide. Now, I want to real quickly share my epiphany. I mean, I usually present this in a different way every single time, just in case we have, when we have recurring listeners. But my epiphany came back in 2004 when I discovered the power of backlinks, and that is, I'm sure you've probably heard about it if you've looked into how to do web promotion on your content, your web pages, and that's through getting content dispersed somewhere out onto the net, anywhere on free blog platforms, social bookmarking sites, the whole lot, and getting links that point back to your site. And it's critical to use that keyword phrase that you're targeting in there. So that's the epiphany I came into in 2004. It took me actually 4 years to actually make it to that point, because there's just so much clutter. And I think that's the really important thing to understand, is there's so much clutter out there on the internet, especially now. You think the internet was big back in 2000. Well, here we are 12 years later, and I mean, there's apparently more content created in 3 days than there was available on the net back in the early days. So it's pretty crazy the rate at which the internet is growing. Now, here's real quickly an example of what the keyword phrase looks like in a hyperlink, and this is http://yoursite.com. Could be an internal page, and you put the keyword phrase right in between here. Now, I used reciprocal linking back in the days, back in 2004, 2005. I did a very vigorous campaign, and I got backlinks to nichebot and other sites that I owned. And the important thing is there are so many different techniques out on the web today to get backlinks to your site. So you should find one technique that is complementary to your talents, your skills, or you feel comfortable with, and get good at that, master that. But you need to go out and find what are the ways to get backlinks to your site, and we're going to talk about how you can go about doing that. Because the importance of getting inbound links is this: it will always trump content on your page. And what does that mean? Well, the content on your page can only be tweaked and optimized so much until you have maxed out on everything, every technique you can possibly do on your page. But there's a ceiling as to how much you can tweak and optimize a content page. Whereas inbound links that come and point into your site, there's no limit to it. You could get 10,000 inbound links to your site, and if another site only has 10 inbound links, you're going to win the war on the top search engine ranking. And that's really basically how it boils over. In fact, I'll be talking to you today about an article. Excuse me, got a little scratch in my throat. But I'll be talking to you today about an article. We'll be looking over a real quick case study of how to do article marketing, and show you an article that I targeted a keyword, and this was well over 4 years ago, I believe. And that article has been in the top 4 positions in Google on page 1 for the keyword of my choice for 4 years. And that's the kind of sticking power that we want to have. Now, I do understand nichebot is an authority site on keyword research, and it's going to rank for certain keywords, but it's only because over time I've built a certain amount of content, but I've also distributed content around the internet as well. So we'll be talking about that. Now, if you want to go ahead and look for link building strategies, you can go ahead and type in link building strategies 2011 or 2012 or whatever year it is. Just put that in there, and Google will give you a bunch of options on articles within the first page that you can look at and read that give you some tips and pointers on what are good additional ways to get backlinks. And we'll be having a bunch of resources and a bunch of trainings as to how you can get backlinks to your site in the upcoming launch of nichebot 4. Now, like I said, this show is about getting clarity and breakthroughs, because I find it so important. I didn't have this kind of medium myself available back when, and I think it's so important for you as a member of nichebot, either gold or platinum, to be able to get that kind of help that you need. So let's go real quickly over the ground rules for the call. Everyone right now is muted on the line. So anytime you want to ask a question during this webinar, through your panel over to the right-hand side, just type in your question and submit it. I'll see it here on my interface, and I'll go ahead and answer your question anytime. And you can go ahead and start submitting your question now. Now, if you want to have a live chat and interact with me, please just type live chat in front of your question, and I will know that you want to interact, so I can go ahead and unmute you on the line. Now, I will go from 60 to 90 minutes. Sometimes it's only a half an hour. It's depending on the number of questions and, of course, my energy and ability to keep going. So let's go ahead and submit your questions now. It's always good to prepare ahead of time while you're doing your research, while you're working with nichebot, to write down, jot down any questions you have and to let us know. on the show what your questions are if you're stuck. And that's really important, because being stuck and feeling stuck is not a good thing, and it's not a good feeling. And so you want to make sure to write those questions down as you're working through your keyword research, whatever it may be, and write those questions down and then bring them to the show with you. All right. So last week I introduced a number of new features that are going to be released here at nichebot for the release of nichebot 4, and we're going to answer any questions you have on nichebot 4 and the upcoming release and any other functions. And it looks like Raul has a question about the nichebot 4 interface. So why don't we go over to nichebot and let's make sure that everyone can see what I'm seeing. All right, so everyone should be seeing my screen here logged in on nichebot 4, and this is basically the dashboard and the first screen that you'll be able to see. As you can see, we've really tightened this up and cleaned this up, and basically you've got everything here in an accordion style manner where you can just, the sections will just drop down once you click on them. And instantly you'll notice when you log into nichebot, you'll be able to see instantly how many projects you have, how many keywords you've saved, how many Google imports, which we really didn't even cover last show. There's so many improvements to nichebot where I couldn't even list them all in the email that I sent out to everybody. But as you can see, you've got your stats on what you've got inside your digital keyword briefcase. You've got your ranking scoreboard, basically, that shows your top rankings and how many keywords you're tracking, how many sites you're tracking. So all that's displayed right up here. You've got your automated keyword research, which we, again, a lot of this stuff we skimmed over, didn't really get into quick detail about exactly how everything works. You've got your profile settings here, and then we also have this, which is not really activated yet, but it's the nichebot rewards program, and we'll talk about how all that is going to function in upcoming shows. So Raul has a question about the nichebot 4 interface, and I know a lot of people get used to an old interface. I do like the tabs. Personally, I think they're much more user friendly. It is really easy to kind of see where exactly you're at, and kind of you'll know when you're in, when you've done your research, great, you go to analysis. When you're done with analysis, go to content. And it just is, to me, the tabs on top, it's almost like a file folder system. It's just, I can relate to it. I went through a lot of, we even hired a user interface consultant, and the tabs just came out to be a lot easier to use. So Raul has a question, and his question is, will the old interface be available to use for nichebot subscribers that have been used to it over time? And that's a good question, Raul, because like I said, with change comes having to learn something new. And I myself have not particularly used this interface. Now, most everything, the guts of everything that you've come to know, such as the keyword briefcase, all this is going to be very similar, very, very familiar, okay? So a lot of that hasn't changed, but you see a lot of it's been cleaned up where you don't have the navigation here on the left-hand side. But the question is, by Raul, will the old interface be available to me as a nichebot member? And the answer is yes. As you can see here, we will have a button available for nichebot subscribers before the change goes over about that will actually help you. It's not about, but it's actually going to help you to switch your view if you don't want to switch over right away. So you will have access to this old view that gives you the menu on the left-hand side. I'm personally anxious to completely switch over, even though I still use this interface myself. I'm anxious to move over to the new interface myself, and I've been mainly working myself with the new interface, but I still find myself over here as well because this is very familiar. We will be reorganizing the sections here to go along with the theme. As you can see here, Raul, we have 6 different sections, but there's 5 main sections. You've got your projects where you store all of your content. We've got basically all the projects here, as you can see, but then we have basically 5 tab sections. And they're broken down into 5 critical phases of your process. And I'm going to go over those real quick with you just so you're clear. But research, obviously, all the research tools are right here under the research tab where you'll be conducting your keyword research and basically be able to quickly access those tools. Then we have the analysis, which basically you'll be able to analyze your keywords, analyze any trends that are happening, and also, very importantly, be able to analyze multiple keywords all at one time. And the reason that's so important is when you're looking at one keyword, the analysis portion of your keyword research, you're usually done with your keyword research by this time, or you're pretty much coming over here to make a determination. This is phase 2, where you're here to analyze your keywords, to make a determination how you're going to prioritize your keywords. So by the time you get here, you should be somewhat already pretty much done with your keyword research, and you've moved on to now prioritizing your list to know what you're going to attack. And the reason multi-keyword analysis is so important is sometimes you have 10 words that you want to be able to look at right on the same sheet, instead of having to do 10 different searches right here on the SEO stress test, which, by the way, does give you an extraordinary amount of data. And while that data is really, really good, it gives you data just on one keyword. And if you want to see on the same page and be able to quickly compare 10 keywords at a time, then your multi-keyword analysis tool is going to be the tool you want to use. Because doing one thing one word at a time can be a lengthy process. And we're trying here at nichebot to help you speed up the process so you can get through and get to the traffic, because you got to get the traffic. Obviously, you got to get to the creating the content, optimizing your content, and getting your traffic, so you can start working with the traffic and optimizing your results so you can convert your pages into customers and sales better. So we want to try to move you through that whole process. So after you're done with the analysis and you prioritized your keyword list, you're then going to want to create content. And creating content is where you want to get to. And I think a lot of people get stuck here in the first two phases. And, you know, we're going to, Scott and I, Scott Patton, who is, he is basically the dean of podology, and he is a master at podcasting. We're going to be doing some webinars and some training, taking you through each step of the way so that you can get through these sections. You know what to do, so you can get on to getting to phase 3, where you're creating the content. So in this section, you're going to be able to use the Content Theme Director to basically know exactly what keywords the top 10 sites are using, so you can use those words within your content when you're building it. You'll be able to get some ideas from the New York Times Article Search X and be able to quickly create some content that's quality based on the keyword that you're targeting. And then, of course, live trends, you're going to have access to the top trends, the hottest trends that are going on, that are trending right now, so that once you've got some content created, you want to continually create content and continually be able to update your site. And most of the time it's going to be not just your pages that are going to be updated, but it's going to be your blog. Because you want to be able to communicate any late-breaking news in your industry, because your visitors are going to look at you as the authority. Hey, if you're breaking news before anybody else, well, they're going to keep tuned into you. It's going to make you a thought leader. So the live trends tool here is going to help you to continually be aware of what's going on, so that you can comment on it, bring it to the forefront. And we also have a new feature in live trends called the Watch Alarm List, where you're going to be able to basically keep and monitor 3 different keywords, and we're going to expand this to 7 keywords for the light users. And if you end up going pro, you'll be able to track an unlimited number of keywords. And then the next phase is going to be optimized, because you've got to optimize. Once you create some content, it's great. You've created your content. However, your first draft may not be the best, and you need to be able to have something analyze, have some sort of software or process analyze your content, and why not be able to compare it to the top 10 web pages out there on that particular keyword phrase. Well, that's why we created the Content Comparison X tool, which does just that. And then once you're done analyzing your page against, right up against the top 10 pages, you'll be able to see where the gaps are in your page, so you can go back and tweak and optimize that page. And you'll also be able to go here to the SEO Site Critic and be able to enter in your URL here and analyze exactly what you might be able to do different. And you'll get some instant feedback about what you might be able to change, and so on and so forth, so that you can, again, optimize your page so that it's absolutely as top-notch as possible, so that you can mesmerize Google into giving you a top ranking for a keyword. The most important is, too, the final phase, and that is to track your keywords. Because, yeah, a lot of people have their Google Analytics account plugged into their site, which is absolutely critical, and I think that's great. It's the last bit of my coffee there. But the tracking part is so critical, and I do tracking myself, and I look at my Google Analytics on a consistent basis, but I don't look at it every day. It's another login. What we're trying to do here in the 5th phase is to be able to capture keyword rankings as they come in, the moment they come in. And that's why Keyword Capture X is the top tool right there on top. Basically, it takes you through, it basically monitors all the organic keywords that people come in off of the search engines, not just Google, but other search engines as well. And if it meets the threshold, and why don't we go there? If it meets the threshold, it will automatically generate a keyword list for you and immediately notify you by email. So let's say, for instance, as you can see, this is, I think this is the most current project. Okay, and this is obviously tracking nichebots, traffic, and basically for this demo account we're just basically tracking nichebot traffic just to keep tabs on making sure this tool is constantly working. So if we edit this project, you'll see basically, let's go to the queue. I think I just went into editing the project. So basically you want to start a project and then you want to set the queue, and basically this is the queue. This shows me that I am choosing this project. I'm choosing the Google Keyword Cruncher tool. I have a choice between 3 keyword tools here, and we'll be adding more to this. I can choose whether I want 500 keywords or go up to 7,500 keywords per keyword list, and these are automatically generated. And then I can save the tool into any one of my folders so that I can go straight to that folder. I can even have a shortcut or a bookmark in my browser so I can go straight to that folder. Okay. You're going to get an email to whichever email account you put here on that project, and you can have this email go to your partner. And but this is the biggest thing right here. Set minimum visits per keyword. Do you want to be notified or have a keyword list generated every time one visitor comes across per keyword? Now obviously once you've gotten a keyword, you've been notified about a keyword, you're not going to be notified about it again. You need to take action on that. But I can set here that there needs to be at least 3 visitors that come across a keyword for me to get notified and have a keyword list generated. So you can set a threshold of how many times, how many visitors must come across for a particular keyword. Okay? And the reason I made this tool, I'm going to tell you it was for selfish reasons, beyond just sharing it with you as a subscriber. I came up with this tool because I wanted to be able to capture keyword rankings that happen right now, that someone has found nichebot or any one of my other sites, and I could go and create content on that particular word and be able to get that ranking and keep it. Because quite often we have fleeting keyword rankings, top positions in Google, that are here today and they're gone tomorrow, or they're gone within a week. They're just flukes. They're shifts in the algorithm. And there's one way to solidify keeping that ranking, and that is to go and create some content on your site, on your blog, that's keyword focused, and you'll make sure to keep that ranking. Okay, so and if it happens to be you're getting a keyword based on a particular web page, you can go and edit that web page to possibly focus it around that specific keyword. Okay, so that's the Keyword Capture X tool, and then we have the Rank Scoreboard, which basically, and mind you, this is of course a demo account. We're just tracking some very minor keywords. Most of my own personal keywords are on my own personal account. But as you'll see here, you're able to track on a daily basis all your keywords, and also the keywords of your competitors. So you can track under the same keywords, you can track your competitors as well. So that's very important, because you'll be able to see how your competitors are doing. If they're moving up, are they? That could be because they're doing some website promotion, getting backlinks to their site. That means you want to go after that particular keyword to make sure that you stay on top of them. And through our nichebot ranking alerts, you'll be able to choose whether you want to receive weekly email alerts or daily alerts based on if your rankings rise or fall by a factor of however many. And you can set it, if you're paranoid, you can set it to 1. If you're not as paranoid, you can set it to 5. Whatever it may be, you'll be able to get an email alert as soon as your rankings fall or they're increasing. And what's important to know about that is that when a ranking increases, if you're doing something right now as far as optimizing a page, this is going to tell you whether or not what you're doing is working. And that only builds confidence for you to continue to keep doing optimizing your pages on an ongoing basis. Not just also promoting your web pages, but also creating new content. And obviously, new keywords that come in off the keyword capture tool itself. Then we've also got extended stats, which basically will allow you to track all of your stats. It's basically like Google Analytics, but it's on steroids, basically. You'll be able to track your keywords over time. You'll be able to track your keywords and your site traffic in real time. So you'll be able to see what's happening on your site right now. Very, very, very exciting. Okay, we've got a number of questions coming in. I'm only going to be able to handle a couple of more. So let's go to the questions now and talk about, someone has a question about the Google import tool. It seems like, I guess I kind of ran over that tool very shortly, and they're asking, Cheryl wants to know, will the Google import tool be available shortly so that I can use the Google keyword tool and import my my saved spreadsheets into the program? And the question is, yes, the Google Instant Import tool will be available for you to use, and basically you'll be able to see all of your instant imports right here. Now, only the ones that actually are CSVs or spreadsheets that are pulled in here from the instant import tool that aren't Google related are going to be here. Since it is called instant Google import and alerts, all of your imports are going to be right here in your keyword briefcase. Okay, and it's going to be automatically, as soon as you use the tool and you have at least one import come in, you're going to automatically create a folder which you cannot delete and you should not delete, called application import. And this will have all of your keywords here pulled in, all of your tools, all of your keywords and your spreadsheets pulled in here. I was just looking because it looks like I was doing some tests on merging some of the stuff here, and it looks like some of my keywords have disappeared. But that's probably because, like I said, we're doing some testing on this, on the merging function, this merge all function here. And so basically, whenever you are using the tool, it's going to reside right down here in your lower right-hand column. You'll be able to show basically. I guess I'm going to have to show you this screen. You'll be able to basically pick a folder, and what I usually do for a folder is I usually just put G imports, and I usually designate a special folder for all of my Google imports and research that I do there over at Google, and I put all the spreadsheets in here. What happens is the tool is down here, docked down here. I don't have it loaded on this machine right now, but we'll go over it more in detail next week. It basically sits here. It will monitor a specific folder, like it could be this G imports tool, this G imports folder. And as soon as I put a spreadsheet in here, I can choose how often I want the nichebot instant import tool to check this folder. It could be every minute, which I do on my own PC, the other main PC that I use. And it will take the CSVs right here and upload them straight into nichebot. All right, so let's go right back to the screen here. We're now back in nichebot, and like I said, in the last webinar, there's so many things. Like you'll be able to grant access to a particular folder. You basically have a private guest viewing area where you'll be able to create an access point for any type of client, and you'll be able to show them any folder in the briefcase, in the keyword briefcase, other than the main folder, and you'll be able to basically show them any kind of SEO stress test or SEO, any keyword analysis that you perform and that you saved. You'll be able to give them access to that as well. So like I said, there's just an immense number of different things that are added into this nichebot, and we've got the bulk domain checker and such like that. So let's see, let me go over any of the questions, because I did have one question from Val about, he has a specific question about his website, and we are going to take the moment because he does need some help figuring out which keywords he wants to find that have traffic, and he's having a tough time. So we're going to do right now right now go ahead and take a look at Val's site and give him some input as to what he might be able to do. His question is, my website is Valera Auto Compressor Repair Parts.com. Wow, that is a long name. His site is my site is showing between first to second page on Google for certain long-tail terms such as Chevy S10 AC compressor kit, Volvo AC compressor kit, Ford Mustang AC compressor kit, etc. Still, I generate 5 to 10 visits per day, a little higher now that we are entering the hot season. I have used nichebot software to find which keywords to target, but I have not been able to ID keywords with traffic. The same keyword generates enormous traffic on eBay, where I am selling and a lot more sales. Why is that? What do you advise that I do to find profitable keywords for my site? Thanks in advance, and thanks for this awesome tool. Okay, well, these are very, very excellent questions. So let's go ahead and tackle those all in one. If you do have any questions about nichebot 3, we're going to cover those next week. I am running low on energy, and I have another webinar coming up shortly that I'm recording. So save any questions you have for nichebot 3 and nichebot 4 in the upcoming release, and go ahead and put those questions you may have if you're unable to attend this webinar over at askjimmorris.com. That's AskJIMMORRIS. Okay, so to answer Val's question, we're going to need to, first of all, take a look at his site. So we'll pull up a new window. And here we are on the site, and here we are on a new window, and we'll just go ahead and pull his Valera Auto Compressor Repair Parts.com. Okay, and this is a very, very good question. Okay, maybe I misspelled something here. And see, this is why it's very important to have a shorter domain name, especially if I'm going to remember this. Valera Auto AC compressor air parts. Okay, so obviously here we are right here. All right, so this is the site we're going to take a look at and do a real quick review on. But let's go ahead and answer some questions. First of all, still I generate 5 to 10 visits per day, a little higher now that we are entering the hot season. Okay. So I have used nichebot software to find which keyword to target, but I have not been able to identify keywords with high traffic. The same keyword generate enormous traffic on eBay, where I am selling, as well as a lot more sales. That's why is that? Well, you're probably, the reason a lot of people are going to eBay is, one, they're probably not looking on, it's a huge marketplace. It's like anything. When I go to look for something that I want to buy, instead of looking through hundreds of millions of sites out there, I will usually just go straight to a marketplace. And my marketplace of choice is Amazon.com, because I know that there are multiple vendors that are competing against each other on Amazon, and I don't have to go search around, go to each site to find what I'm looking for the best price. I usually find it here, and I find it pretty reliable. If I want to go ahead and compare a price, I'll go to Price Grabber. So the question is, why are you getting a lot of traffic to your eBay versus this site? You're doing that because, for one, eBay has, if we look at eBay, and let's go ahead and go to Google and do a page rank check. If we go here and do a check and see ebay.com, and we check the PR, okay, MD22ZPG. All right, so we see eBay is a 7 out of 10. Well, eBay is likely going to be the marketplace of choice, and plus, they're just like Wikipedia comes up in the search all the time. If you're not #1 on Google, you're not going to get as much traffic. So you're saying that you show up between the first and second page on Google. Well, okay, the most important thing to know is that on Google, the keywords that people type in, let's say we'll do, this is the article I wanted to go over. So for consumer market